Get ready with me while I tell you guys the story of how my van, my home, caught on fire. Yes, caught on fire. I had just had a bunch of work done on my van maybe a month before that. Shout out to the people that have been helping me out with my van. They've done an amazing job. I wouldn't have this van without them. She's needed a lot of work recently. She's a 1994, so she is old. So shout out. Thank you guys. So I was coming back from Orlando down to Fort Lauderdale, which is about a 3.5-hour drive. I'd already driven about 2 hours, so I only had an hour and a half left of my destination. The trip was going good. Everything was great. And then I thought I just hit a little bump in the road, maybe. Anyone who's ever blown a tire, you know that when you blow a tire, you've blown a tire. This was definitely not that situation. It honestly just felt like I hit a small bump in the road. But I love this van so much, and I did want to make sure that everything was okay with her, so I did pull over and get out and check. I checked all 4 tires, and all of them had air. I checked the oil and the transmission fluid, and everything was fine. Everything looked fine. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I just hit a bump, so I got back on the road and I kept going. I did think the van was driving just a little bit weird, so I was going slow. I was only going maybe 45 miles an hour. And yes, I will admit that something did feel off. I didn't feel like the van was operating quite right, but I was only an hour from my destination, and I'm just a girl. I was going slow, so I just kept going. And not even 10 minutes after I'd been back on the road, I'm going nice and slow, just kind of taking it easy, and a tow truck driver pulls up beside me, absolutely blaring his horn, and I mean laying on the horn, obviously signaling for me to pull over. So I pulled over. The tow truck driver and I were both walking up to each other at the same time, and before I could even open my mouth, he points at my back tire and goes, "Fire!" There was a literal fire on my back driver's side tire. The tire was on fire. He ran to his truck to get his fire extinguisher. I knew I also had one in the van, so I ran to the van and got mine so that he didn't have to use his. So I handed him my fire extinguisher and he put the fire out. He definitely did not speak any English, and I wish I could speak Spanish, but I sadly cannot. So we couldn't communicate very well, but I told him even though he was a tow truck driver, I was gonna call my own tow truck so that it would be cheaper because I have AAA. And then I actually felt so bad for him because after he put my fire out, he went down underneath the van, down by the tire, to look at what was going on down there. I'm on my phone trying to call AAA, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was like a gunshot. The tire exploded in his face. I felt so bad for him. I almost thought my van dropped on top of him for a second. It was very scary. Luckily, he was just fine. Everything was okay, except my tire was completely blown up now. I gave him a very fat tip because this man did not have to pull over and help me. He actually was the one that pretty much saved my home. I could have been standing on the side of the road watching my home burn to the ground. Not just my car, not just my vehicle, my home. Everything that I love and that is sentimental to me and has value to me could have just completely been in flames. So I definitely had a guardian angel looking out for me that day. I thank the Lord. I thank the universe. I just couldn't be happier with the way things turned out because I'm just a girl. I had no idea what was going on and I was just going with it. Lesson learned. I guess it was my wheel bearing had locked up and then it caught on fire. I had her towed to my good friend's mechanic shop and now we're back on the road. So it was a crazy time. It could have been a lot worse, and I'm just very thankful for everybody that was watching out for me and thankful that I still have Vanny Phantom because she is my everything. So that's the story. This is the final look and I hope you guys have a great one.